What's going on, guys? Mattherus here, a.k.a. Diggletdreams. We are spectating this application tournament. This is the second battle between Roshi Kane, well, his name's Master Roshi, he just has Roshi Kane on here, and JayBlitz34. So these guys each have 3 Pokemon locked into their teams. Master Roshi is repping Mega Sableye, Rotom Wash, and Arcanine, as you can see there on his team. JayBlitz is bringing Mega Manectric, Scizor, and Noivern. So let me just double check that they all have 3 OU Pokemon. Boom, boom, boom. Perfect. Alright, we are ready to go. Good luck, guys. Start when ready. Should be a good match. This guy, Master Roshi, seems to have a very bulky team. Maybe an offensive Arcanine, maybe. While JayBlitz seems to have a very... Actually, they both have really balanced teams, I guess I should say. But JayBlitz definitely has more of an offensive core than Empoleon. Oh, he actually gets the Burn Skull the first turn as the Empoleon sets up the rocks. That residual damage is going to be nice. It definitely won't affect Empoleon's offensive presence on the field, but it will definitely help it whittle it down, because as we all know, Empoleon does not get anything like Roost to recover or anything like that. So Blastoise does just go right for another Scald, as it chooses not to Mega Evolve. Oh yeah, he does not have he's a Mega Manectric, he doesn't have Mega Blastoise. So the Rotom Wash actually sets up the light screen as the Blastoise Rapid Spins. That's pretty cool. I love seeing regular Blastoise. It's really not gotten that much usage in since Mega Blastoise came out. I'm just going to X out of that, guys. Sorry about that. It can be distracting. Alright, so he sets up Light Screen and Reflect. I have not seen a Rotom Wash with Light Screen and Reflect in a long time. But let's see how JayBlitz handles this. I feel like he'd probably just go for a Volt Switch here. I don't know exactly why he brought in his Manectric. Definitely outspeeds the Rotom. Let's see what he wants to do here. He could probably Volt Switch into, what's it called? Superior, and be able to take pretty much any hit. As he decides to go Scizor, oof. Oh man, he gets really lucky with that switch there, as the Will-O-Wisp does avoid, or Scizor does avoid the Will-O-Wisp. That would have been really brutal for his team, because that is really his only powerful physical attacker, actually. So really he needs to get out of there, because we all know Scizor can't hit Rotom that hard, and Rotom does outspeed Scizor. So unless JayBlitz happens to be running a speedy Scizor, but no, he does decide to switch out, lets his Manectric take the Will-O-Wisp, but yet again the Will-O-Wisp misses. So Master Roshi's having a lot of trouble with this Will-O-Wisp right now. So if I were JayBlitz, I would Volt Switch into what's his Superior. I keep forgetting Superior's name. It's because it's so fresh to OU, guys. Not that fresh, but compared to the rest of the tier, it's pretty fresh. So the Manectric does Mega Evolve. It goes straight for the Thunderbolt. It's not going to be doing that much, especially with Rotom's Bulk combined with Light Screen. We don't see an item on the Rotom either, do we? So it could potentially be Light Clay, which means these Reflect and Light Screen might be here to stay. Oh, actually, yeah, the Light Screen is going to be here for 3 more turns, so that is a Light Clay. As the Mamoswine comes out on the Volt Switch, able to be immune to it, prevent the Manectric from getting any initiative. And this is not a great position for JayBlitz to be in. Mamoswine is a threat, especially with screens up, as he actually pulls a double into his Arcanine as JayBlitz switches into Cresselia. I don't really know what Roshi was trying to do there. I would have just gone for a knockoff. That would have been really great on the Cresselia, and also just getting rid of items is just a good thing to do. Manectric can't really touch Mamoswine except with like an overheat. As Roshi switches into the Sableye on the Cresselia's Toxic, letting his Sableye get Toxic, which is not great because Sableye is really bulky and it does not enjoy being Toxic. But we'll see what Sableye wants to do here. Maybe it's a Calm Mind Dark Pulse one. It's actually taunting the Cresselia, as it actually gets hit in the face with Moonblast. Oh man, it's not looking good for Sableye, but the Cresselia is taunted, so it can't Calm Mind, Toxic, Recover, anything like that. That's definitely a good thing to have against Cresselia. As he actually pulls a switch into his Rotom on the Moonblast, and the Rotom does not take it well and gets a special attack drop. So there really is nothing is tipping either way in this battle quite yet. Like we've seen momentum on both sides, as he actually does make the switch into the Superior there. That's definitely a good counter for the Rotom. And let's see, does he have any? He could definitely go Arcanine, yeah. Especially with the light screen up, that should be fine. But this boosting can be scary. If Serperior is bringing something like HP Ground, that could be a problem. But he actually does decide to just save his Serperior for later. Ooh, the Arcanine has Flame Charge, but the Cresselia is able to eat it up. But the Arcanine is now at a speed boost, still has the light screen up. I'm interested to see what this Arcanine set is. As you guys may know, Arcanine is my favorite Pokemon. I'm actually wearing an Arcanine shirt right now. But anyway, the Arcanine decides to switch out into the Empoleon, able to take the Psychic like a champ. But that burn damage is still going to be racking up, so we need to be careful about that. Fortunately, there are no hazards on the field either, so nobody has to worry about that kind of damage. So the Serperior does come out. As hazards do go up, the Empoleon sets up the Stealth Rocks. But yet again, the Serperior is showing its offensive threatness against Roshi's team. Once again, he's kind of forced into the Arcanine. I think that's really his only switch. He could sack a Sableye if he wants to, but then the only thing he could really do is go into Mamoswine. Yeah, that's kind of the problem with Roshi's team, is that Serperior actually outspeeds his entire team. Yeah, JayBlitz definitely has offensive momentum. He's got 3 Pokemon that are faster than all of Roshi's teams, being the Manectric, Noivern, and Serperior. So unless Roshi's packing a Scarf on one of those Pokemon, then he might be in trouble with that. But he does bring in the Bisharp, which does take that really well, especially with the light screen up. And it definitely can hit hard with a Sucker Punch, if he does decide to go for that. But the Serperior switches out the Blastoise as Bisharp goes for a Swords Dance. That can be really scary. That is really scary. Let's see, what does JayBlitz have for this? I think the Blastoise could take up even a +2 hit. What we'll see. I don't know what spread he has on this Blastoise. If he's running a bulky, especially if it's physically defensive, it'll be alright. But we'll see what he wants to do. He does go for the knockoff. It does KO the Blastoise, so that is going to be the first KO of this match. Bisharp does take out the Blastoise as the light screen disappears, and now Serperior is going to come out. I don't think Serperior can really take a Sucker Punch. Hopefully JayBlitz is packing some other move, as he does actually go for the Glare, catching him with the Sucker Punch, so that is good. But unfortunately, the Sucker Punch is still priority, so even if you're paralyzed, it will still go first. And unless Roshi gets unfortunately paralyzed, then the Sucker Punch is still a threat against JayBlitz's team. If he's running Superpower on Scizor, that might be his best bet. But also, he could get a lucky Paralysis right here. That would really change the game right now. That would be really awesome for JayBlitz. Get rid of this huge threat. He does decide to pull the switch into Noivern, and oof, that goes down right down to a knockoff. I guess maybe he was predicting a Sucker Punch there, but I guess Roshi decided to not mess around with the Sucker Punch and just go straight for the knockoff, and it does take down the Noivern. So we are looking at a 6-4 advantage to Roshi right now. He does bring out the Scizor though. This could be where it changes. I know Scizor is bulky enough to probably take a +2 Sucker Punch. Not well, but it'll take it. And if it does have Superpower, it should do a hefty... if it has Superpower, it'll KO. If he does have U-Turn or something, that would also do a nice amount of damage. Definitely wouldn't KO, but it would do a nice amount of damage. We'll see what he wants to go for here. We have no idea what set he could be running. It could be Banded, it could be defensive with Defog Roost or something like that. But let's see what he decides to go for here. This Bisharp is really a threat. Especially at +2. He gets the Paralysis and has the Superpower, so the Bisharp is off the field. That is one big threat averted. This is paranoying me right now. I'm just going to check this. Aeriodon messaged me. Alright, so Aura hasn't shown up, but I guess he has a little time. But anyway, he does decide to bring the Sableye. Does have the priority Will-O-Wisp, so that is definitely something that Scizor doesn't want to deal with. But fortunately, JayBlitz doesn't have another physical attacker, so he can really safely switch into any other Pokemon and be all right. Especially the already burned Manectric. That's nice. So Roshi does go right for the Will-O-Wisp. Manectric is immune to it because it is already burned, but Manectric is already down to 51%, which is not a very good position for it to be in. If he does go for the Volt Switch and Roshi decides to bring in the Mamoswine here, that could be really problematic for Jay. I hope they don't mind that I'm giving them these like nicknames. Just call them Roshi and Jay. But this is a really tense match so far. There's really no telling exactly which way it's going to go. I think the Scizor is going to be one of the most important things for Jay to hold on to, as well as a Serperior. So honestly, yeah, Manectric isn't that important. He could hold on to it if he wants, but it's not as important as I think the rest of his team. Sableye is really on its way out, honestly. He does actually make the right play going into the Mamoswine on the Thunderbolt, which is a scary position for Jay to be in. He doesn't really have a safe switch in. Unless the Mamoswine doesn't have knockoff, then I think Cresselia should be alright. I think that might be his only play. He could also just sack his Manectric and get a free switch, but again, that is really risky because this could easily be a Focus Sash Mamoswine, and that's not a good thing. That would be really bad for Jay's team. He does decide to save his Mega Manectric, go into the Cresselia, as he actually pulls a double into the Rotom, so Roshi really doesn't want to reveal any of the moves on this Mamoswine quite yet. So I think this Rotom is probably just going to set up some more screens for him, and those have really been helping him out, especially against the Serperior, because Serperior can't really do that much damage with the first Leaf Storm just because it doesn't have enough special attack to really be threatening. It's only once it gets the first +2 that it really starts to become a monster. So with things like Arcanine, Roshi should be able to block it, especially if there's a light screen up. But once that Arcanine goes down, it could be a potential issue. If Roshi can get enough damage on it to the point where Mamoswine's Ice Shard could take out Serperior, then that would be alright. Then it would be dealt with. But the Rotom does decide to Volt Switch on the Cresselia, and Cresselia does go for a Psychic, which does land a critical hit on the Empoleon, which doesn't do much damage at all, but once again, it is just whittling it down. The only left recovery that Empoleon has is Leftovers, and it's really kind of counteracted by the burn. So Empoleon does go for the Roar here, roaring out the Serperior. This is potentially scary because Roshi does not have the light screen up right now, and it could definitely Serperior could definitely punch a hole right now. He's gonna have to sack something. I think he could go, depending on his Arcanine spread, he could go into that if it's specially defensive, but if not, he might just have to let something go down. And if I were him, I would probably let the Empoleon or maybe the Sableye. Sableye's on its way out. It's not really that useful. He does decide to go Arcanine though. Oof, and Arcanine is gonna get 2-hit KO'd by that, I believe. Arcanine could be running the extreme speed though, and that would bring Serperior to the point where Ice Shard would take it out though. So that could be his plan right here. But I believe Serperior will be at the point that another Leaf Storm should take this thing down. Again, Leaf Storm could miss though, so there is that possibility. That would be really unfortunate though. As it actually goes for another Leaf Storm, as Roshi sacks his Rotom Wash, and Serperior is now at a 3-time special attack, which is really scary as the Arcanine comes back out. I also noticed this is not Intimidate, so this could be Flash Fire, as the Arcanine does go down, letting Serperior get to max special attack. This is not good for Roshi. The tables have turned. I knew this Serperior would be a big threat, but he does bring out the Mamoswine. This could be Focus Sash right here. He could just go for an Icicle Crash, as it is not Focus Sash, so the Mamoswine goes right down, and I think that is going to be game. Yeah, the Sableye and the Empoleon are both going to go down to this. If I were JayBlitz, I would probably go for something other than Leaf Storm just to ensure the KO rather than have the chance to miss. But he does just go right for the Leaf Storm to take out the Sableye, and I will say GG's to both of these guys. They put up a very good fight, but the Empoleon is not going to be able to take this hit as well as outlast the rest of his team, even if it does somehow take down the Serperior. But he's just taking his time sending out this last Empoleon. I don't know what he's waiting for. There really is nothing he can do. Yeah. That's unfortunate for Roshi. He did have a lot of momentum for a large portion of that match, but unfortunately just not getting that light screen up when he had the chance was really kind of the issue. Arcanine would have been able to take the hit much better, and maybe if he had sacked Sableye or Empoleon into the Serperior, it would have been he would have been in a better position. Alright, people are starting to leave as it's pretty obvious that Roshi's going to lose, but we're still waiting for that Empoleon to come out. Great game, both of you. Sorry, I hit the mic there. I don't know what Roshi's waiting for. I guess he just doesn't want to admit defeat, but there's really is nothing you can do. They were both very good in this whole match. There was really at no point did I think that one person was going to win, because they each had momentum at different points. Roshi with that Swords Dance Scizor and the light screen was really useful, really great way to counter Superior, and a really great way to counter the way that JayBlitz's speed really kind of counters his team, if that makes sense. I didn't really phrase that right well, but what I'm saying is Swords Dance Bisharp is kind of a threat to JayBlitz because he has a lot of fast, offensive, fragile Pokemon, so they really had kind of a struggle between the two of them. It was like one is fast and powerful and one is bulky and slower, and they both kind of had kind of a fight of the champions. But yeah, I don't know what he's waiting for. Come on, Roshi. Either send out your Empoleon or just forfeit. Alright, we're getting a message. Let's see who this is from. Aeriodon. Oh, I can start my 6 battles. Alright, well, anyway. Let's focus on this. I don't know what's taking so long. Did it already end? Like, it didn't say anybody won. What's the hold up? Alright guys, I'll pause it just so you guys don't have to wait this long. Alright guys, we are back, and the battle did just time out, and I did get a message from Roshi saying he did not mean to disconnect, it was just an accident, and so great match played by both of these guys, and looking forward to both of them doing more stuff. JayBlitz will move on to the next round, Roshi will move on to the consolation bracket, I believe is what it's being called. So good luck to both of those guys in the future, and I will see you guys in the next battle. Peace.